It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at the 5 and 10. It's glistening once again with candy cans and silver linds that glow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store. But the prettiest sight to see is the holy that will be on your own front door. On your own front door. Welcome back, everybody, to another wonderful Married Children Christmas review. Mr. Wildcat is back, and I hope you guys enjoyed season two's You Better Watch Out. We are now going to move into the next Christmas episode, which takes us to season four. And that Christmas song that you wind up hearing at the beginning of this video plays a very huge part in the episode we're going to review. And you're not going to believe what we are in for next. Yes, the two-parter, It's a Bundyful Life. Yay! Now, this is, many of you guys will probably consider this your most favorite Christmas episode out of Married Children. So, like, there's 6 episodes um, that Married Children did that are Christmas themed, okay? And this is the one that many of you would probably consider your most favorite Christmas episode of Married Children. And some of you will even go even further as to rating this two-parter as one of your favorite episodes of the entire show's run, if not the best. Okay? Now, now I know that those over at the Married Children podcast will be very excited to watch this one because, from what I'm like, for those who reviewed this episode, it's probably their most favorite Christmas episode of the entire bunch. Okay? Now, before we begin, I'd like to ask you guys. Okay? What is your most favorite Christmas episode that Married Children had ever done? We have season two's You Better Watch Out. This episode right here, which is season four's It's a Bundyful Life parts 1 and 2. We have season seven's Christmas, in which Al becomes a mall Santa. Season eight's The Worst Noel, in which Al and Peg are on the couch trying to figure out what to watch for Christmas. Seasons 10's I Can't Believe It's Butter, where Peg's mom um, launches a phone sex operation in order to finance the Bundy Christmas. And then there's season 11's God Help Me Merry Bundyman, in which Alan Griff, they start off in the shoe store, they finish in the shoe store, and they wind up taking other gigs in between when their seasonal help turns out to be better help. So, like, which episode do you think is your most favorite? Okay, go ahead and comment below. Okay, but let's go ahead and kick into high gear. We are going to be reviewing, since this is a two-part episode, we're going to be reviewing both parts together in one video. Okay, so this may be just a little bit. We're going to try to be as brief as possible, but there are so many good parts here. It may go just a little bit longer than an ordinary review for a one-parter. So, okay, be on the lookout for that. We will be covering trivia for parts 1 and 2 both together at the very end of the two-parters. So we're going to do the first and second parts together at one. Then we'll go into the trivia and I'll give you a unified rating for both parts together. Okay? And for those of you who have never seen this, you're in for a very good treat. Okay? So let's take a look. So this episode, okay, Bundyful Life. Um, Both of these aired together as an hour-long episode. Original air date was December 17th, 1989. Aired back to back with parts 1 and 2 back to back. It also wound up airing the same night as the first Simpsons episode ever, Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire, which is the Simpsons Christmas episode for the first season. Okay? We'll talk more about that as we go into the trivia, so be on the lookout for that. And it's got some wonderful guest stars. You are not going to want to miss this. Okay? So we basically start off. Okay, so both of these episodes, they both aired back to back on December 17th, 1989. However, we do not have a tape. There's no taping date for part one. However, Part 2 has a taping date of December 8th, 1989. So I don't know if like anybody over at the Married Children podcast watching this, I do have a question for you guys. Okay, and I'm not sure if you guys are able to answer. Were Do you guys by any chance happen to know if parts one and two they want to be taped together on the same night, or if they want to doing part one on one night and part two on a separate night? Okay, because it seems like both of them were done together, but you know how things are. So if any of you guys are able to get an answer for me, please let me know in the comments. Okay. So we've done enough rambling already, so why don't we get in the high gear? So we start this episode off with a computerized version of the Bundy household, the exterior of the Bundy household with snow falling down. Listening to the song, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, which is what you just heard at the beginning of this video. And then you have Peggy, Kelly, and Bud. Um, they're just sitting in the Bundy living room slacking off. I know that Kelly's got her gum and stuff looping around. Bud's got these two long things sticking out of his nose. I don't know what the hell they are. Like some kind of retard or something. And then you got Peggy on the couch. I'm not sure if she fell asleep or if she's watching TV or what. And then we have Al Bundy. He walks into the household. Okay. And then he basically he starts outbursting on his day at the shoe store. I hate Christmas. The mall is full of nothing but women and children. All you hear is, I want this, get me this, I have to have this. And then there's the children. And they're all by my store because they stuck the mall Santa right outside ringing his stupid bell. As if you need a bell to notice a 300-pound alcoholic in a red suit. Ho, 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 all day long. So, nice as can be, I go outside, I ask him to shut the fuck up. He takes a swing at me, so I lay a hook into his fat belly. He goes down, the beard comes off, all the kids start crying, and I'm the bad guy. Okay? Al goes to sit on the couch, and Peggy starts talking. Ah, honey, I know what will make you feel better, but I'll never leave you, not in a million years. So, Al, what's the family plan for Christmas this year? So we have Bud, Kelly, and Peggy. They're all taking turns going down like, it's a reference to the 12 Days of Christmas song. Okay, so Bud suggests 5 bowls of flushing. Peggy suggests 4 rods of flobbing. Kelly suggests 3 nose hairs waving. Bud suggests 2 children starving. And then Peggy suggests the best one of all, one untouched wife. One untouched wife. I guess that's what they mean when they say chestnuts roasting in an open fire, eh, guys? So then we get a knock on the door, and the Bundys are fearing that it is Bundys are fearing that it's Christmas carolers. So they turn off the lights and they go hiding, and then Bud goes looking through the front window of the Bundy household. They notice it's Steve and Marcy, so Al suggests to let them in because they may have presents. They open the door. Marcy and Steve, they sing, "We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish," and then the Bundys start frisking all over the. They start frisking the roads, thinking that there's presents, and of course there's nothing. But of course somebody has snatched the watch off of Marcy's wrist. Who took my watch? So Steve basically comes in saying that he wishes everybody a Merry Christmas. He's not going to be around because his mommy is who lives in Cincinnati, Ohio, has invited Steve to go join him. Steve's going to go visit his mother down in Cincinnati, Ohio, and of course Marcy is not invited because Marcy and her mother-in-law, Steve's mother, these guys don't get along together, not one bit. And basically, Steve and Marcy they go to kiss each other goodbye, but then we get a honk honk, and it turns out that Steve's mother has driven all the way up from Cincinnati to pick Steve up for Christmas. Come, come on, Stevie. Come, mother. She drove all the way up from Cincinnati to pick him up. How pathetic. All right. So now she's basically talks about how Steve and Marcy were supposed to go to this Christmas party that Marcy's bank is throwing the next day over at Kyoto National Bank, which is where she works. And she basically starts being upset about how she can't go alone. And Peggy suggests to Marcy that she go to the party and have the time of her life. All right. And then she's wanting to. She's very upset about with Steve gone to Cincinnati. She's gonna be all by herself for Christmas, and she's wanting to. She's asking the Bundys to invite her into the household for Christmas, which of course Al slams the door right in her face. Gotta love him. Okay. So then Al winds up dropping a huge announcement on the Bundy family. So in addition, so it is a Christmas tradition at the Bundys, apparently, that they go have a Christmas feast over at Denny's. Now I'm not sure. I don't know why people poke so much fun at Denny's. Probably has to do with the fact that they have like uh, cheap food or something like that. I don't know, but Married Children has made so many wisecracks at Denny's throughout the show's history. This, you have the eating out. You want me to jump up and down and throw a fit like I do like we can't pay at Denny's? And then there's Ship Happens Part 2. But let me still be alive. Yeah, and Hoff is eating at Denny's, just to name a few. Okay? So basically, in addition to the Bundy's traditional Christmas feast at Denny's, but Al is announced that this year Kelly, Bud, and Peg are going to get presents. All right. Al basically had saved some money aside in a special Christmas savings account, which Peggy specifically says, aren't those the things where morons put 2% put money in to get 2% interest instead of 5% in a normal bank account? Yeah, that's the one. So basically, Al has saved some money. He put a little bit of his paycheck throughout the whole year into this account, and has ranked up. Evidently, he's racked up about $280, and has decided that he's going to buy the family presents in addition to his Christmas feast, the family's annual Christmas feast at Denny's. Right? But then we get another knock on the door, and it turns out to be Christmas carolers. We know you're there, Bundy. You want Christmas carols? I'll give you some Christmas carols. I'm searching for the real killers with every round of golf I play. Oh Hillary, you're going to jail for 1 to 3. Grandma got run over by Al Bundy's Dodge as he was driving home on Christmas Eve. She wanted some loafers from Al's shoe store, but all he did was give her some insults. Dodge is a damn fine car. Ran over my wife with a Dodge. And let's get back to the episode. So we go to we go to Al and Peggy's bedroom. Oh, Al! She comes in wearing these pajamas with a big garland around her. Come unwrap your Christmas present. Where is it? It's me, you dweeb. So the Bundy family, Bud, Kelly, and Peggy, they're all so excited about getting presents that they don't even know, like they can't hold back their excitement. In fact, they get so hyper, they each take turns approaching Al convincing them that the other two have no respect for Al, and they are the only ones that love him, and they're trying to persuade Al to spend his entire Christmas budget on them and not the other two. Nice try, guys. Al's not. Al is seeing right through your bullshit. Okay. So we go to the next day. We have Bud and Kelly. They're munching off toaster shakens, which in the later part of the show we will, which in season 9 we get another reference called toaster leaving. So these are like the little crumbs and stuff, the leftover residue from when you put toast in the toaster. These little crumbs and pieces that you see in the toaster. They're shaking out the toaster and they're enjoying some toaster shakens. And now, and then you have Bud, Kelly, and Peggy at the dinner table, basically trying to come up with a idea for what to get Al for Christmas. And they decide to recycle some of his old presents. They decide to basically go into his closet and reuse some of the things that he currently has in his closet, like a new tie, a tie, a shirt, yada yada yada. Okay. So over at the shoe store, it's 2:30 p.m. Marcy's bank closes at 3, and Al basically has no customers in the shoe store, and he decides to take a break. He decides to shut down the shoe store, run over to the bank to get that to get his money out of the bank so he can go buy presents for the family. Guess what? On his way out, we have like a 60-year-old woman who comes in. It's like a 50, 60-year-old woman who comes into the shoe store wanting some shoes. I'm sorry, man, we're closed. This will only take 1 second. And Al's trying to hurry them up to get them out the door. Okay? So then it comes time to pay. She doesn't have the customer. She doesn't have the money. So she grabs her mother, who is on a cane. Looks like she's about 75 years old, 75, 80 years old. Very slow, on a cane, pulls out her change purse. Okay, I don't have the money, Mom. And apparently that old lady with the cane, she apparently has a mother still alive. She's got to be well over 100. All right. So apparently much it's about like 250, 253 ish on the clock, and Marcy's bank, which was not supposed to close until 3 p.m. They couldn't control themselves. They couldn't wait to get the Christmas party started. So, like, with no customers in the bank, they decided to close early, and they decided to get the Christmas party up and running. Oh my God, this is a Christmas party to remember. I wish I had a Christmas party like this. All right. You have people chasing each other with mistletoe. You have eggnog going plenty all around. You have an instrumental version of Deck the Halls playing over the intercom. But the best part of all, you have Marcy sitting on the Xerox machine having her ass Xeroxed for and making copies for all of her coworkers. Oh my God, Marcy. So then we see Al. He comes up. It's around 2:55 ish. And he comes and he knocks on the door. The security guard, who is he's basically sitting there slowly dancing, having a drink for himself. He said, "Let me in." Okay, he's basically silently telling Al, "Sorry, bank's closed." But it's not 3 o'clock yet. And then he points towards Marcy. You have to talk with her. And Al's silently signaling to Marcy, "Marcy, let me in. I want my money, damn it." 1 second. She basically she gets off the Xerox machine. She goes to Christmas partying all over the place. And then Marcy is served a drink. All right, we think it's eggnog or something like. I think it's eggnog, okay? She basically takes the drink, takes the swiv, and then she passes out. Oh my God. Okay. As she passes out, the uh, the gates, the outside gate to the bank that protects the outside of the bank from getting shattered or breaking into after hours, it comes. The gate comes slowly coming down, while Al is basically screaming, "No! No! No!" So Al basically is screwed. He has no. He cannot get his money out. It's stuck in the bank. He now goes back to the shoe store in disgust. But on his way to go, he tries to go unlock the shoe store to get back in. He gets sacked by all these mall Santas who he had been assaulting earlier on, and they basically get their revenge on him. He then goes in. He then has inner thoughts. Okay, Bud, Kelly, and Peggy, they're all saying, "What you get us for Christmas, Daddy?" "Well, kids, the bank closed early. I have no money for presents. You still love me, don't you?" Oh my God. And then we have machine gun. And this is all going in Alice. "Well, kids, the bank closed early. I have no money for presents. You still love me, don't you?" So he's sitting there all upset, and then we have we have this lady who comes in, and he comes in with this mouthy brat of a child. "I want toys, 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 toys. I want toys." Okay, the mother wants to grab. She wants some shoes from the shoe store, but no, the mouthy kid. He's not very patient. "I want toys." And then he basically and then the mother basically tells Al, "Oh, you have no idea what I would do to give this kid up for an hour so I can shop in peace." That gives Al an idea. There's still hope to get some money for Christmas presents. He opens up a a daycare center. Okay, and apparently, without the kids are not sitting, they're not playing around like a bunch of savages or anything like that. They're basically to keep the kids under control. He has them all tied up in a circle with garland all over them, and Al is sitting there counting the money while singing, while humming the song "Winter Wonderland." Shut up. Placey things the wife is missing. Didn't ask for her permission. I'm wearing her clothes, her silk pantyhose, walking around in women's underwear. You gotta love that parody, okay? And oh my God, it's Bob Rivers. You gotta give him credit for that one. He took that Christmas song and he turned it. He pulled a John Velby or a Weird Al Yankovic and took a popper song and made it X-rated. Walking around in women's underwear. So Al is basically sitting there counting cash, and he's sitting there in peace. And then the kids say, "I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I need to go to the bathroom." Okay, and he tells them all to shut up. And then one of the kids asks Al, "Hey, Uncle Al, entertain us." He decides to tell them a replica. He decides to tell him his own version of "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," except involving his life. All right, you guys want to hear it? I thought you would. All right. "'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house no food was a stirring, not even a mouse. Stockings were hung around Daddy's neck like a tie, along with a note that says, "Presents or die." Children replying all nights in their beds, while the wife's constant whining was splitting his head. But Daddy had money this year in the bank. Then they closed up early. Now Dad's in the tank. And all of a sudden Santa appeared, a sneer on his face, booze in his beard. "Santa," I said as he laughed merrily, "you do so much for others, do something for me." "Bundy," he said, "you only sell shoes. Your son is a sneak. Your daughter's a flues." "Ho, ho," Santa said, "should I mention your wife? Her hair's like an A-bomb, her nails like a knife." As he climbs up the chimney, that fat piece of dun, he mooned me 2 times, he stuck out his tongue. And I heard him explain as he broke wind with glee, "You're married with children, you'll never be free." Great job, Al. And that, oh my God, it basically, they, the kids are now horrified. Okay. Now who wants to hear about the red-headed Grinch who stole El's who? Now who wants to hear about the red-headed Grinch who stole Uncle El's life? But before we can tell that story, guess what? One of the kids that Al is supposed to be babysitting in Uncle El's daycare center snuck out of the shoe store and went to go find the moms for help. Right? They went to go tell the moms what Uncle Al was doing, and they come down back to the shoe store. "There he is!" And the kids all claim, "He depressed us." They're all angry with the way Uncle Al was treating their kids. So they basically start assaulting Al now with their purses. Now Al is the one who's tied up in Garland. And guess what? They basically that big wad of cash that Al was paid to watch these kids. Now they're being refunded one by one. One of the mothers confiscated all the money and is now evening out the refunds. "And here's your money. And here's your money. Here's your money. Here's your money. Say goodbye to Uncle Al." So she tells her son to say goodbye to Uncle Al, in which she kicks him in the nuts. And then they both walk out with a smile on their face. Then the intercom comes up. "Attention shoppers. It's 5 o'clock and the shopping mall is closing so our employees can be home with their loved ones. Have a Merry Christmas." And that is the end of part one. So now we go to part two. We are back at the Bundy household. All right. And now the family is getting ready for their Christmas feast at Denny's. All right. And it turns out that Kelly is wearing this seductive, she's wearing this pretty attractive dress. Okay. Let's take a look here. See if I can get this. Okay. I have some notes here, so. Let's see. That's not it. Where was this thing? Okay. All right. Here we go. Why don't we take a quick short? Let's take a 30-second break while I pull up some notes for this part two. Okay. Mr. Wildcat's "It's a Bundyful Life" review continues right now. All right. Now for the best part of them all. Okay. So we start part two in the Bundy household. Kelly is basically wearing a very seductive dress, saying that she last wore it at Grandma's funeral. We know that this is Al's mother because Peggy's mother would come to live with the Bundys later on in the show, in season 10 to be exact. So we know for sure that Grandma's funeral, but by talking about Grandma's funeral, we know we're talking about Al's mother. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in our trivia section because there's some inconsistencies with that. Okay? So now they're all getting ready. They're very excited. They're going to get presents, and they're going to, in addition to their Christmas feast at Denny's, Al comes in this door, and now they're all over him. Okay, and Al is basically trying to say like, don't you, okay, wouldn't you love me even if you don't have any presents or something? Okay, they're basically saying, to hell with this love crap. Give us our presents. Come on, Al, you have presents, don't you? And then Al basically he tries to come up with a lie, but it turns out they knew what was coming. Al basically has no presents to give them. He winds up breaking the news how the bank closed early and he was not able to buy them any presents. Now everybody's all pissed off. They're basically saying, "Oh yeah, right." Okay, and they're basically saying that there was a lame excuse and there could have been other things that Al could have done. Kelly suggested that Al could have held up a liquor store. They're open till 6, you know. And while Peggy basically said, "Okay, Al, you better have a fucking good reason why you decided not to withdraw your money a day before." And Al basically says, "Well, I wanted the extra day's interest." "Oh, you like 3 cents?" "Hey, that was going to be our tip at Denny's." Okay, so now they're screwed. All right, no present. The family not getting any presents. All right, and of course Al is willing to make it up on December 26th, but that you know what they're saying. December 26th is not Christmas. We want presents before Christmas. We want presents on Christmas. That is not Christmas. All right. Kind of reminds me of season one when Al and Peg were celebrating their 16th wedding anniversary. Al was trying to buy this watch for Peg. His credit card maxed out, and he basically went to Peg and says, "Peg, I tried to buy you this watch. There was a problem with the credit card. I'll get it straightened out tomorrow." "Tomorrow's not our anniversary." "Oh, I'm so you're taking this well." Kind of reminds me of what's going on right now. Okay, now they're all very disappointed. They're not getting but Al had gotten them all hyped up about how they're going to get presents, and now they're not going to get presents because Marcy's bank had screwed Al over. Okay, do you ever think Al's ever going to get anything normal in life? Okay, that's what the show's all about. All right, of course nothing's going to work out for Al. Okay, if it did, we wouldn't even have married children. Okay, anyway, Peggy says that she has $8, which is enough for 3 of them to eat. All right, they're still going to go off to Denny's for their Christmas feast because Peggy has $8 left in her pocket, which is enough for 3 of them to eat. And because Al had screwed him over, she decides to take herself, Bud, and Kelly to Denny's to have their Christmas platter. And Al is left behind. He winds up outside. First, he gets insulted by Mr. Donnelly. Okay, so let's take a look at that. See if I can pull up the lines for that one. Let's see, where is it? "Hey, Bundy! My family got me a new TV set for Christmas. What are you getting?" "Well, if I was one of the guys down at the post office, Donnelly, I've been unwrapping your wife." It kind of reminds me of a few episodes back in Tooth or Consequences. "Hey, Bundy, I had steak tonight. What are you having?" "If I was a mailman, I'd be having your wife." Okay. Then a very drunk Marcy comes up. All right. Oh my God. All right. "Excuse me, Marcy. I'm Al. Do you know where I live?" "Why didn't you let me in your bank, Marcy?" "Oh, I was going to, but I got so sleepy. I guess I just had a few too many drinks and I fell asleep." "Oh, but you gotta see this. Some bimbo at the bank got so smashed that she Xeroxed her ass. Just look at this scrunchy thing. Everyone got one. Imagine the humiliation when she shows up for work on Monday morning." "Yeah, it's Christmas to remember. Now let's get you home. Let's hail you a cab. Tell the driver to take you to Dock 43 on the wharfs. Walk up to the first toothless sailor you see, show him this picture, and you're home. Thank you, Al. Don't tell anyone, but I'm going to throw up in your next door neighbor's mailbox. Oh my God. Marcy is going to show up so humiliated on Monday. When she comes back from Christmas, she's going to be so humiliated. Who knows? Maybe she'll get fired for showing everybody her ass. Or better yet, known as this is Marrying Children, maybe she'll get a job promotion. Good one, huh? So now Al starts to go. He goes to turn on the Christmas lights. Only one of the bulbs is working. So he takes a screwdriver. Okay, and I tell you, sometimes I wonder if my life would be better if I was never born. He winds up getting electrocuted, and he faints to the ground. All right. Now we're going to get into the best part of this whole two-parter. Okay. We have this guy who prepares to be a guardian angel. He helps Al up. You are not going to believe who this is. The one and only Sam Kinison. All right. We'll talk about Sam Kinison in our trivia portion, okay? And we're going to show why he's so okay. He's so the big deal about Sam Kinison and why and his big significance with this episode and why he was so well applauded. Okay, so now we're gonna jump into the this guy's this next part has so many great lines. We have to go over to the actual script. Okay. All right. Hey, buddy, you all right? You're okay. You're gonna be fine. Well, thanks, buddy. Well, who are you? I'm a guardian angel. As a matter of fact, I'm looking for an Al Bundy. Do you know an Al Bundy? I'm Al Bundy. No! God, we start playing the tunnel up there for a minute. Look at the fucking mess you got me into. What have you done to me? Ah, there, buddy. How about I go get my gun and shoot you with a nice silver bullet, huh? Would you like that, buddy? Ah, you just have to give me a minute to think about this, but you just have to give me a minute with this Bundy. I thought I was here to save a human soul. That's all right. Never mind. He then pulls up his flask, which is supposed to have liquor in it. All right. Oh, it's over here. All right. Oh, well, thanks a lot. You can turn water in a way, but you can't save me with booze, huh? Love ya! He's screaming at the Lord while he's doing this, by the way. Oh, I get it. You're one of my wife's relatives. I've never seen one upright before. Now, much like a neutered dog, you don't get it, Bundy. Read my lips. I'm your guardian angel. Oh, I see. Hell, I gotta apologize. I just thought you were a nut. Well, I'll get my guitar and call Elvis, and the three of us will rock in the new year. Hey, this is no sleigh ride for me either, Bundy. Usually at Christmas, I'd be over at Moses' house. We'd get out of the pool, wait for the new guy to jump off the board, then Moses would part the water. Now that's Christmas. That's Christmas, man. Yeah, but I sort of fell from grace. They caught me scalping tickets to a Jimi Hendrix concert, and here I am. But enough about me. Is it gonna take to convince you that I am your guardian angel? Fly around, play a harp. Hey, I'm a angel, not Tommy Tune. I see it's an old standby, huh? Tell you what, make a wish. Anything off the top of your head. Make my Christmas lights work. The Christmas lights miraculously come on. Now Al is convinced. That's amazing. You are an angel. Hey, I want another wish. Aren't you supposed to get three? Hey, don't be a wish pig, Bundy, all right? You wanted three wishes, get a genie. Besides, anything I can't get a receipt for comes out of my own pocket. Oh, come on. Just give me one more. Turn the lights back off and give me the hee-haw girls. Hey, I've been sitting around waiting for them to die myself. I know you think you got it tough. Your wife doesn't respect you. Your kids think you're a failure. A good day for you is when you don't come across any new foot diseases. Believe me, I sympathize. But you think your life reeks? Take a whiff of mine, pal. My wife gained 100 pounds for every year we were married. We had two kids. I think she ate them. I don't know. I hated driving home so much I had vanity plates written up that says "Hit me." Oh yeah, when I was at work, she. But despite it all, she loved me. You know how? Because she told me. Oh yeah, when I was at work, she loved my father, my brother, my bookie. But when I found my grandfather's teeth in my bed under the pillow, then I knew there was trouble in paradise. That's when I did what any other man would do, Bundy. I canceled my insurance and hung myself. Shout her, huh? And you're here to help me. That I am, my man. See, if I help you, I get my wings. That means a lot up there, especially with the chicks. See, if I get my wings, I get to pick on the girls who die young. Well, that sounds great for you, but what are you going to do for me? Show me that my life can only get worse? What are you going to do? Give me two more wives, three more kids? Make me a White Sox fan? No, Bundy. We're going to take a little trip. Just like you wondered, I'm going to show you what it would have been like if you had never been born. That's party. The door opens up, and we're about to take a trip. But first, we got to take a quick commercial break. I got to get through this. After coming back from commercial, we have Alan the Guardian Angel that come into the Bundy household. Well, not quite the Bundy household, but this is what the Bundy household would have been like if Al had never been born. We first see Peggy in the kitchen humming and cooking. Peg, it's me and my angel. She doesn't know you're there. She doesn't know you're there, Bundy. Just like when you're having sex. Wait a sec. She's cooking. She told me she was allergic to fire. Gee, that's weird. I guess after I died, women started lying, huh? Boy, I tell you, if they ever start using sex to get what they want, I'm out of here. Then we have Bud who walks in the door. Apparently, he's carrying a pair of ice skates with him. He's got a pair of glasses, and he's got a nicely combed hair. Okay? Hello, Mother! Oh, you're a trifle home. You're home a trifle late, dear. Oh, yes, I know. Regrettably but necessary. I had to stop on the way home to soundly trash a bully who was making lewd and suggestive comments to some female school chums. Oh, Mother, when will men realize that the delicate flower of womanhood must be allowed to bloom in freedom? You're such a fine young man. I knew we'd pay to breastfeed you till you were 9. Ew! You breastfed Bud till he was 9? What's next? You kept Bud in diapers till he was 12? Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you need any money, dear? Oh no. Um, I couldn't take money from you. You and Father had given me the greatest gift of all, the gift of life. Would he feel it if I kicked him? No, but a few extra cash I can give him your dog's face. Would you take an IOU? Not from you. Then we have Kelly, who walks in the house. Hello, Mama. I'm home from college. College? She flunked lunch in high school. Good news! They're publishing my poetry in French. Oh, Budrick! You look fabulous. You really must be popular with the ladies. Well, I've broken a few hearts, but gained some good friends. And you, dear sister, are you still frigid? Yes, but pleasures of the flesh muddy the thinking. She's right, you know. I saved I saved myself from marriage. Oh, come on! The football team retired her jersey. I mean, what kind of guy would marry her if she wasn't putting out? Then we get the father, all right, who is played by Ted McGinley, all right. Now I have to remind you, I have to give you guys a little heads up. This is not Jefferson Darcy, all right. This is actually before Jefferson Darcy became part of the Married Children cast. Ted McGinley plays a one-time role as Norman Jumblunski, all right. He comes walking to the house. I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus. It's Daddy. All right. Basically, they basically kiss and hug passionately. Okay. Hey, you know those wings you've been wanting? Yeah. You think you can make a pear out of this guy's kidneys? Ah, don't worry about him, Bundy. I checked in his future. By the time he was 60, his stomach is so also written it. Oh, well, that's you. Sorry, man. Sorry. How was your day, honey? Oh, wonderful, as every day since we met. Am I the only one who can taste the bile? Oh, by the way, dear, I haven't had a chance to finish the Christmas cookies. I had a run-in with the shoe salesman today. There he goes. There she goes. She's leaving him. No one can resist a shoe salesman. I was only trying on shoes for a couple of hours, and then he barked at me. He was a rude, smelly, uneducated little man. Imagine a grown man selling shoes for a living. But let's remember the old adage. I laminated I had no shoes until I saw the man who sold them. Well, I guess you're all wondering where your parents are. Oh, oh, presents. Okay. Oh, Father, you didn't need to get us anything. What? Oh, yes. Your loving kindness all these years mean more to us than any store-bought bauble. Oh, I just love you guys so much. Well, gee, this was fun. What are we going to do next? Go back in time to the day I should have been conceived and watch my father invent the fucking condom? No more time travel for me. It gives me the runs. Besides Bundy, you're the one who wanted to see what a life would be like if you had never been born. So grin and bear it. And then Norman comes out with a family announcement. Okay? I do have a special present for everyone. I've watched you all suffer in this hovel for years, but over the years I've been saving, and that, along with mommy's sewing money, has allowed me to buy a has allowed me to buy us a new house, a mansion, really. So how about joining me in a Whoa Jablonski? Whoa Jablonski! Okay. Oh, Norman, what a special Christmas present. Let's just stand here and love each other. Okay, they basically, oh, Norman, kids. They basically just stare at each other of how much they love each other. And then Al winds up looking back to his guardian angel. Now there's the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm sorry, Bundy, I failed you. I was supposed to show you what life would be like. I was supposed to show you why you should live. But I can't think of one damn reason. I'll never get my wings now. And you know the kind of woman that you get in heaven driving around a 78 Pinto? The same kind of woman you get down here driving around a 78 Pinto. Oh, God, I'm depressed. Then the angel winds up going to Peggy, right behind her, and pinching her ass. Honk, honk! Oh, this is making me so hot. Okay. Well, that's better. Wait a second. I want to be back. Then Al basically changes his mind. He tells the angel he wants to be back with his family. Wait a second. I want to be back with my family. Why? Look at them. They're happy. Not a care in the world. You think I'm going to let that happen after all the grief they put me through? I want to live. Okay? And the angel and Al, they hug each other. Bundy, are you serious? Okay. All right. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I got a better. Okay. Bundy, are you serious? That means I'm going to be an angel. I'm going to get my wings. I'm going to be a real angel. But first, I'm going to go take a look at my ex-wife. You really did love her, huh? Oh, hell no. I just want to put a package of ding-dongs just out of her just out of reach of her pork pie fingers. And then as she boozes that as she oozes that 1,000-pound bulk over the table, lifts up three of her chins so she's able to put one of them in her mouth, I'm going to turn her into me, a 20-year-old rotting corpse. How do you like that, Thelma? Daddy's home for Christmas. You pig, you slut, take a bite of this shamoo. Ah! How do you like that, Thelma? Daddy's home for Christmas. You pig, you slut, take a bite of shamoo. Ah! He swears around so fast and eventually disappears, and the whole audience goes wild. The angel is gone, and Al gives the thumbs up. Then we go, next scene, we find Al back on the ground outside the front door. It turns out that this was all a dream. Okay? The Bundys, Peggy, Bud, and Kelly, they just came back from their Christmas dinner, and unfortunately, they raised the price on the Christmas dinner at Denny's, so they wound up having to go to Spud Hut for their Christmas meal. And they're all angry with Al. They basically walk all over him as he's walking in the door, and he's trying to realize, is he really home? All right? He asks Bud, which is more important, money or love? Well, money, you can always rent love. He then tells Kelly the color in orange. She doesn't have a clue in the world. Then he asks Peggy to make some Christmas cookies. Peg, make me some Christmas cookies. Drop dead. All right. Well, I see you're in a good mood. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're in a good mood. You know, they raised the Christmas platter at Denny's 50 cents, so we had to go to Spud Hut for their holiday tater feast. Thanks a lot, Al. This is the worst Christmas I've ever had. Yeah, and then Bud and Kelly are basically saying, yeah, me too. This reeks. All right. I got my family back. All right. He basically does not care because he's basically got his family back. And then, let's see if I can. Okay. And then we have the Bundy family on the couch. Basically, Al is he's so happy. He's got his arms around Peggy and Bud, who are basically in a foul mood. And you have Kelly, who's clueless as hell. And then we have a voiceover. The guardian angel has made his way back to heaven. Okay? He's ready to check in. Okay? Hello, heaven. Hello, heaven. I'm back. Can you open the gate for me and let me in? What do you mean, where's my badge? It's in my luggage. What? You lost my luggage? No! And that is the end of the episode. God, you can definitely tell I had so much fun reviewing this, right? Let's go over some trivia, okay? Now, over the Married Children fandom site, some of the trivia for parts 1 and 2 are the same. So we're going to try to basically merge them both together. And I do apologize if I seem to, if I do apologize if I do cover certain topics over and over again. Okay, I'm gonna try really hard not to do that. Okay, so before we do, there's something I really need to cover. Okay, and it's all about the title to this episode. Okay, now the title to this episode is A Bundyful Life, is a reference to the classic 1946 Christmas movie called It's a Wonderful Life. Okay? So, it's a wonderful. Get this damn thing out of here. Okay. It's a Wonderful Life is a 1946 American Christmas fantasy drama film produced and directed by Frank Capra, based on the short story and booklet The Greatest Gift, which Philip Van Doren Stern self-published in 1943 and is loosely based on the 1843 Charles Dickens novel A Christmas Carol. The film stars Jimmy Stewart as George Bailey, a man who has given up his personal dreams in order to help others in his community and whose thoughts of suicide on Christmas Eve bring about the intervention of his guardian angel, Clarence Abadi, who is played by Henry Travers. Okay? Also in this film is Donna Reed, who winds up playing, okay? Donna Reed, who plays his wife Mary. Okay? And you also have Mr. Potter, played by Lionel Barrymore. And then you have Uncle Billy. Um, you have Bert. You have a Bert and Ernie, who Bert and Ernie. Okay. You have two cops and some of George's closest friends, Bert and Ernie. Their names, when Sesame Street would be created, a few in 1969, when Sesame Street would get created, there was two puppets named Bert and Ernie. Their names came from these two characters in It's a Wonderful Life. Okay, and it has been rumored, all right, for many years whether Bert and Ernie are just best friends or if they're a homosexual couple. But that is a discussion for another episode. All right. But basically, It's a Wonderful Life. During its initial theatrical release, it was released on December 20th, 1946. It was made with a $3.18 million budget and grossed $3.3 million, so it barely broke even. The film's break-even point was $6.3 million, about twice the production costs, a figure it did not come close to achieving in its initial release. Because of the film's disappointing sales, Capra was seen by some studios as having lost its ability to produce popular, financially successful films. Although It's a Wonderful Life initially received mixed reviews and was unsuccessful at the box office, it became a Christmas classic after its copyright lapsed and fell into the public domain, which allowed it to be broadcast without licensing or royalty fees. So this came out around 1972, is when the royalties for the film expired, and when somebody found out about this, they just and realized that they could play this film over and over again without having to pay a fucking dime. They took advantage of it, and they decided, let's go out and play this movie left and right. So throughout the 70s, 80s, even into the 90s, all right, you would see It's a Wonderful Life playing countless amount of times on television. Nowadays, you would only find it airing once or twice on NBC. NBC has current exclusive rights to this film as with its airing on television. In terms of TV airings, It's a Wonderful Life is exclusively on NBC. NBC airs this movie every Christmas Eve, so it airs it over a 3-hour period. Okay, and then in today's world, It's a Wonderful Life is considered one of the greatest films of all time, and amongst the best Christmas films. It was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, but did not receive any Oscars during its nomination phase. It has been recognized by the American Film Institute. Okay? In 1998, the American Film Institute came out with a list of the 100 greatest films of all time. It's a Wonderful Life was voted number 11 on the list. When the in 2007, they redid the list of their 100 greatest films of all time, and It's a Wonderful Life landed at number 20 on the list. Okay. In 2006, the American Film Institute put together a list of the 100 greatest movie cheers, which celebrated the most inspirational films of all time. And you know where this film landed? Number one. We're number one. We're number one. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Capra revealed that it was his most favorite amongst all the films he directed, and that he screened it for his family every Christmas season. It was one of Stewart's favorite films. In 1990, the film was designated as culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant, and added to the National Film Registry of the Library of Congress. All right. So today it stands as the best of time, thanks to all of the countless amount of airings that it has aired on TV over the past 50 years. Okay. So that's now that we're done talking about that, let's go ahead and talk about some of the other trivia for this episode. Okay. Fox re-aired this two-parter as a 1 hour long episode on December 15th, 2003, the same year that the Married Children reunion special had aired, making it a very rare occurrence in which a classic TV show re-airs on its parent network after being canceled. This two-part episode originally aired back-to-back on the same date and network as the series premiere of the animated series The Simpsons, titled Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire, in which it was titled in the actual episode The Simpsons Christmas Special. Both episodes are Christmas themed. Simpsons' title, as well as Al's line, I guess that's what they mean when they say chestnuts roasted on an open fire, they're references to the classic Christmas song, otherwise known as the Christmas song, or chestnuts roasting on an open fire, which was originally sung by Nat King Cole. Okay, now both of these episodes, chestnuts roasting, I mean, both of these episodes, the Bundyful Life Part Two, Parts 1 and 2, as well as Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire. Both aired out of production order. Simpsons episode was The Simpsons' Christmas episode was the eighth episode produced, but it was the first to air, while the two-part Bundyful Life was produced after Who Stopped the Rain, but it aired before Who Stopped the Rain, which did not get an air date until January of 1990. Okay. Oh, you're gonna love this one. One of the few times this gets referenced on the Married Children podcast actually got a mention on the Married Children fandom page, believe it or not. Okay. On the Married Children podcast, this is the first two-parter to get two separate podcast episodes. All right. So basically, a couple of two-parters that have aired before were like Poppies by the Tree and Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Those two have evidently they wound up reviewing both parts together in one episode and given a unified rating. From all the multi-parters between seasons 4 and 7, which is the remaining. When Alex Edwards was in charge of the Married Children podcast, okay, between the Bundyful Life two-parter and the three-part England show, which were the multi-parters that they wind up airing, along with You Gotta Shop Around, Route 666. Okay, these episodes they wind up got the parts 1 and 2. They wind up getting their own episode reviews, but they were given a they were only given one unified rating at the end of the final part of the episode. Okay, when Alex retired and he carried the torch over to six different podcast co-hosts, they took all of the multi-parters and what they ended up doing is that in addition to airing reviews, separate reviews on each of the parts for those multi-part episodes. Part 1 would get one review, part 2 would get another review. In addition to that, they would also do each part would get its own rating. Okay, part one got a rating for this, part two got a rating for this, and then sometimes they wind up giving a one unified rating for all three parts together. Okay. All right. So here are some cultural. Here's some trivia for part one. When Al puts his feet up, he has a noticeably hole. He has a noticeable hole in his shoe. The exterior of the Bundy residency at the beginning and end of Christmas of the episode is computer generated instead of the still frame of the real house used in other episodes. Peggy reveals that Al spent the previous Christmas playing pool with his friends and didn't give the family any presents. Okay? Bud offers Kelly toaster shakings when he shakes the toaster upside down for leftover crumbs. This would later become a reference in season 9's No Pot to Peas In when it was referred to as toaster leave-ins on the fictional show Peas in a Pod. The interior of Kyoto National Bank, which is where Marcy works, it's recycled from the leading bank of Chicago as seen in 976 Shoe. Okay? Al tells the family that he had a Christmas club, and then Peggy points out the issue with it. A Christmas club is a real type of short term savings account in which someone puts money aside each week for Christmas spending and receives a check shortly before Christmas in order to purchase the gifts. As Peggy had noted, the main reason why it fell out of favor with customers was that the interest rate was very low compared to typical savings account and it had numerous restrictions that made it difficult to maintain year after year after year. Okay? So, she when Santa and the kids stop by the front of the shoe store and promise to egg the windows, he makes a gesture towards Al by putting his hand underneath his chin and then flicking it outward. Although not as common in American culture, the chin flick, as Santa does, is an insult gesture in several European countries, such as Italy, France, and Belgium. Depending on the culture and context, it can be used to say, I couldn't care any less, to get lost or piss off, though in Southern Italy it can refer to it simply as a no. And this is basically, right? And if you wind up and if you wind up cutting out in front of me in the okay, okay, you would see me doing this to you half the time, if not the finger. Al tells the kids at Uncle Al's Christmas Tot Lounge a variation of the Christmas poem "A Visit from St. Nicholas," more commonly known as "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." He then offers to tell the story about the red-headed Grinch that stole Uncle Al's life, which is a reference to Dr. Seuss's "How the Grinch Stole Christmas." Okay, so all right, we've already covered all the music. Okay, part two, covered that, covered that, covered that. All right. During the guardian angel's rant about his fat wife and kids and how he can sympathize with Al, he jokes about having vanity plates that read, "Hit me," because he hated going home. Now, a little this one hit a little too close to home because Sam Kinison, he was a one-time preacher turned stand-up comedian who plays Al's guardian angel. Sadly died in a head-on automobile accident in April of 1992, about 2.5 years after giving his performance at the age of 38. Guest star Sam Kinison was the producer's first choice to play Al Bundy, but they decided against it as they figured he was too raunchy. So when Michael Moyer and Ron Levitt, when they were putting Married Children together, they they originally the two people they originally imagined playing the parts of Alan Pegg were would be Sam Kinison and Roseanne Barr. What would it be like to get these two together? And eventually they decided this would be a little too extreme, so they wind up doing a casting for Alan Pegg. They quickly went with Katie Seagal, and after a long casting search, they eventually wind up with Ed O'Neill, who surprisingly had no comedy work on his resume prior to hitting Married Children, but he sure did it very well. Okay. Let's see. Before we move on further, so Sam Kinison. Okay. Born December 8th, 1953, died April 10th, 1992, an American stand-up comedian and actor. All right. Initially performing for free, he became a regular fixture at the Comedy Store, where he met and eventually befriended such comics as Robin Williams and Jim Carrey. Kinnison's comedy was crass observational humor, especially towards women in dating, and his popularity grew quickly, earning him appearances on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, Late Night with David Letterman, and Saturday Night Live. At the peak of his career, Kinnison was killed in a car crash. He received a Grammy nomination in 1988 for his single "Wild Thing" from the film "Have You Seen Me Lately" album. Okay, from his "Have You Seen Me Lately" album, and he won a posthumous. He also posthumous win in 1994 for Best Spoken Comedy Album, "Live from Hell." Okay, he wound up appearing in a couple of films. Basically, the one film he's bestly remembered for is the 1986 comedy "Back to School" with Rodney Dangerfield. Tongue twister. Okay. Basically, Kinnison plays a history professor who winds up getting into Rodney's face. Okay. Oh my God, you gotta love this. Okay. And I wish we still had Sam Kinison alive today, because he would basically put today's society. He would basically put today's society into shape. Yeah, we really need him back. Okay. So this is Ted McGinley's first appearance on the show. He does not play he does not play Jefferson Darcy, but he plays um, a one-time character called Norman Jablonski. He would later play Marcy's second husband, Jefferson Darcy, which would come out around halfway of season 5. So around late 1990, early 1991, he would wind up marrying Marcy and becoming Jefferson and Marcy Darcy. Okay, in the episode "Married with Who." This is an episode I would like to review. Okay, it's going to be on my list down the road, so be on the lookout for that. All right. It's now this These notes on the Married Children Family site, they're not completely up to date, but it says season 10, but it was actually from season 9. There was a special in season 9 called "My Favorite Mary," in which you had Ed O'Neill, Katie Seagal, David Faustino, Christina Applegate, Ted McGinley, and Amanda Bears. They all got together, and they discussed over a 30-minute period what their favorite moments and episodes of Married Children were. Okay, so the cast, they did reminisce about Sam being one of their favorite guests. They also discussed how he missed a day rehearsal and sent the cast nightsticks as a gift, as well as belly dancers and a catered lunch the following day in order to make up for his absence. There are some minor alternate scenes with the angel, which show snow in Al's hair, and alternate line readings from the scenes shown. There is also a blooper reel in My Favorite Mary, including Katie Seagal messing up her line about having to go to Spud Hut instead of Denny's. Okay. When Al tells the kids that there's no presents, Kelly, one of the lines that Kelly cites is, "Christmas without presents is like Thanksgiving without pizza." This is a reference to Fair Exchange, when the family ate pizza toppings for their Thanksgiving meal and then they ate the remaining crust the day after. As Al's angel reveals in a timeline when Al wasn't born, the family has changed in the following ways. Peggy is a loving housewife and mother who's able to cook and clean. She also mentions that she saved herself for marriage. Oh, come on! The football team retired her jersey. Bud has become a bespeculated male feminist, discussing how women must be respected and chooses to be friends with them rather than pursue dating. He was also breastfed until he was 9. Ew. Ugh. Of course, I shouldn't be complaining because I hear rumors that people in Hawaii are breastfed till they were 18 because milk is expensive. Of course, everything in Hawaii is expensive because everything has to be flown in. But if these rumors, I don't know if these rumors are true, but if they are, fill me in on it, please. At the beginning of the episode, Kelly shows off her revealing dress, saying that she wore it at Grandma's funeral, which would imply that Al's mother had passed away some time ago. Bud also mentions that he saw her and Elvis after nearly dying in season six's The Mystery of Skull Island. Yet in season seven's Al on the Rocks, Al's mother is still alive, as Al is on the phone with her and threatens to sue her for the $5 she owes him. Oh, Al, won't you ever have some respect for your own mother, for Christ's sakes? As Al starts to inspect the Christmas lights, one of his neighbors, Mr. Donnelly, mocks Al and tells him that he got a television, in which Al responds, "Well, if I was one of the guys at the post office, Donnelly, I'd be unwrapping your wife." Al previously yelled at Mr. Donnelly to the consequences and mentioned that Mrs. Donnelly is having an affair with the mailman after Mr. Donnelly mocks Al about having dinner and he comes home from work. All right. This implies that the Donnellys live right across the street from the Bundys. Mrs. Donnelly also mentions by Bud in 976U that she wind up calling the house to ask Al about some advice regarding a bunion on her foot. All right. So Peggy mentions that the Bundy Christmas tradition is to go to Denny's for their Christmas platter special. Yes, let's talk a little bit about. I'm not sure how many of you guys know about Denny's, but in case you don't, I may have to briefly talk about this. Okay. It's a popular full-service pancake house, coffee shop, fast casual family restaurant chain. Okay, come on. Okay, they got numerous locations across the United States as well as other countries, including El Salvador, Canada, Qatar, and Japan. It is also known for never closing and offering a variety of affordable comfort meals, such as the Denny's Grand Slam. Now, the Grand Slam is basically it's a breakfast platter. So come on, let me talk. So Denny's has made a wide number of appearances on Married with Children. Starting in season three's Eating Out, she mentions that she would throw a tantrum fit to avoid paying the $3.95 for their meal at Denny's, and suggests that she'd do it at a fancy restaurant the family went to after Al forgot the inheritance check. In season four's The Bundyful Life, he mentions the annual Christmas feast at Denny's and family plans to get the Christmas platter. Okay. Season five's Route Triple Six Part One. Peggy mentions having a Grand Slam breakfast by herself, which upsets Bud and Kelly. Season seven's Go for the Old. Marcy suggests that Al get a senior citizen discount card that will get him a in by two, out by 2:30 supper at Denny's. Season 8's Proud to Be Your Bud. Kelly mentions that Bud has as much chance to find a date as the cast of Rock does of getting served at Denny's. This is a reference to Fox's a popular Fox Black sitcom that ran from 91 to 94. Also a reference to an incident at a Denny's restaurant in the May of 1993 when six black U.S. Secret Service agents visited the restaurant and were forced to wait an hour for service while their white companions were seated immediately upon entering. Season nine's 25 Years and What Do You Get? Al mentions to Jefferson that he's taking Peg to Denny's for their anniversary and fills her up on popcorn shrimp before giving her the diamond necklace that he got for her. In season 9, Ship Happens Part 2, Kelly tries to convince the news reporters that Al and Peg might still be alive, and the news reporters say, and Hoffa's eating at Denny's. Okay? Referring to Jimmy Hoffa, who mysteriously disappeared in 1975. And last but not least, season 10's Turning Japanese, when Jefferson keeps confusing items for being associated with Japanese culture. Mr. Shimakawa thinks to himself, in my country, this man will be serving water glasses at Denny's. Okay? And last but not least, let's talk about the Grand Slam. All right? Breakfast meals served at the International Fast Casual Dining Pancake House Denny's. Basically, it consists of two pancakes, 2 sausage links, 2 strips of bacon, and 2 eggs, though more recently it can be individually customized with items such as biscuits, ham, toast, and fruit. Okay, so the Grand Slam's been mentioned 3 times. Impident, Route 666 Part 1, and She's Having My Baby Part 2. Alright, so let's see. Any more notes here? Let's see. Okay, Al's guardian accuses God of playing Nintendo instead of sending him to a better person. Nintendo is a very popular video game brand, popular brand of video games. Super Mario, Zelda. I think Super Mario is probably the Duck Hunt, or some of the most popular video games from the early years of Nintendo. All right. Let's see. And I think that's it. All right. So why don't we go into my review for this episode? Okay. So let's go into my rating. Okay. Now, basically, this is in no question one of the greatest episodes in the show's history. All right. This is one of my favorite. It's not my all-time favorite Christmas episode of Married Children Put Together, but it is at the very top tier. I think it's like number 2 on the list. There's one more that I like better than this, even though it's a very hard debate whether which one should really be the top. But this is at least number 2, if not number 1. Okay. This episode would definitely be in my list of top 10 favorite episodes of all time. It's not at the very, it's not number 1, but it's in the top 10, if not top 15. That's how good it is. Sam Kinison, he delivers the best. Okay, he is one of the best supporting characters that this show ever produced. All right, and he's had such a huge ball playing this guardian angel. Okay, loved him from the very beginning. All right, we loved what happened with the family, Peggy, Bud, and Kelly. In the scenes where Al figured this is what they'd be like if he was never born. It's like, oh my God, you mean tell me that Al has basically brought their lives down, all right? And without him, they would be perfect. Very hilarious. Like, Peggy coming home from college. I mean, no, Kelly coming home from college when in reality she flunked lunch from high school. Oh my God. Okay, that was one of the best. Okay. I'm not sure which scene I like better, but there's a couple of scenes I did like from this episode. So in part 1, you have Marcy Xeroxing her ass on the copy machine, and Al's "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" poem. Those are my 2 most favorite moments. Oh, in addition to Peggy singing "One Untouched Wife." My 3 favorite moments from the first part, and in the second part, Sam Kinison. Okay, God, we stop playing Nintendo for a minute. Look at the fucking mess you got me into. What have you done to me? So hilarious. Okay, his screaming, his preaching, his acting, the best. What happened with these guys? Bud being not being he was being breastfed till he was 9. Okay, hell, if he was being breastfed till he was 9, then I would might have stayed in diapers till I was 5 or 6 at the very least. But I wasn't. So, but it's that I find, or I should probably say, if Bud had been breastfeeding till he was 9, then I could see Russia from my house. All right. So that's basically get into a good rating here. So only one rating comes to mind, and giving anything less than this would be a huge insult to the entire show as a whole. It's a Bundyful Life as a whole. 5 out of 5. All right. That's how good it is. And if you have not watched this 2-parter, you need to go do so. It is so good. All right? You cannot legally call it Christmas without it watching It's a Bundyful Life. All right? So that is all we have for today in the It's a Bundyful Life review. Join us tomorrow when Mr. Wildcat will be reviewing the next Christmas episode that Merry Children had made. We're jumping all the way to season 7 with the episode titled Christmas. In order to finance Christmas gifts for the Bundy family, but Al is being forced to take 12 different jobs, including one job being a mall Santa. Will Al get the money that he needs to finance the presents for the family? Will the family love the presents that Al gets? Will Al even be able to give them presents at all? All right, you got to tune in to find out. And if they do, what do they receive? You're gonna have to tune in to find out. Until the next time we meet, Mr. Wildcat reminding each and every one of you to be good, be careful, and behave. Whoa, Jump Blunsky!